Hey everyone, welcome into Great Awakener Ether Realm. My name is Kimberly, and I am going to do a collective reading for Sunday the 23rd through Sunday, March 2nd. Again, this isn't just for one zodiac sign, it's for the entire collective, okay? It's general reading. So Sunday the 23rd, we start out with the sun in Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house of career, reputation. It also represents the father. And we have a whole lot of aspects from the moon, starting off with to the sun. And then we have a square to Venus, a square to Neptune, a sextile to Saturn, sextile to Neptune and the North Node, and an opposition to Aries in Cancer, and also a trine to Uranus in Taurus. Now, these aspects, it's hitting one after the other. The reason being is that, we have so many planets. All of our planets are between Capricorn and Cancer. It's, so the moon is hitting these aspects one after another. It could possibly bring a bit of an emotional roller coaster. Okay, I'm just being fair here. Now, sextiles and trines are, great aspects. Oppositions and squares, it's, usually brings a little bit of a hiccup, if not more than that. So with the moon being in the 10th house, career, reputation, you're going to, wanting to be looking at those factors. Now, we have a huge stellium in Pisces right now. We have the Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node. A huge emphasis on the 12th house. 12th house is all about the subconscious, dreams, psychology, anything that you keep hidden from other people, and also things that you keep hidden from yourself as well. It has to do with a lot of inner child, anything that you've learned from when you were a kid, you may not even know that you do. You might have a habit that you don't even realize that you do because you learned it when you were a child. And you might not know it, that it might be detrimental to you as well. So the 12th house is all about resting. It's the last house of the zodiac. It's right before we start a new astrological cycle, which, would be Aries and in the spring. So right now you're kind of looking at, winter. Now this is metaphorically. I do understand that not everybody is going through winter at the moment, but it is a time to rest and recuperate, daydream, dream, think about, going to your underworld, okay? And thinking about how, with the moon in Capricorn at the moment, making these aspects to the subconscious, you're going to want to be looking at how that affects your reputation, or how your reputation also affects your subconscious, okay? And or your career, okay? Then we have the square to Venus in Aries, and then a square to Chiron. We have an opposition to Mars, so we have like this little T-square kind of thing going on here. Again, reputation, 10th house. Aries is first house, how you project yourself into the world. Cancer is home and family and represents the mother as well. The moon rules Cancer, so you got a little bit of a mutual reception going on here. Not completely, but it's enough to recognize the energy, right? And not bring so much chaos to it. You also have the moon trine Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is all about values, and your self-worth, how you spend your money, how you earn your money, okay, how you value yourself. So you have a lot of, especially with, it hitting little Chiron here as well, you have everybody has a lot of the subconscious going on here, healing your inner wounds. This whole week, if you ask me, all this stuff is all about, getting some rest, going into yourself, into your subconscious, and working out, going through the dark night of the soul, basically. And of course, with that trine to Uranus is the Great Awakener. It it does bring chaos, but it also brings these epiphanies to resolve that chaos. Okay, ideas, rebellion, but with it being in a trine, it's in a very good aspect where you'll probably get these epiphanies before there even is any chaos, right? So, and then of course you have Saturn coming in here soon to also make a sextile. Saturn's at 20 degrees right now. Uranus is at 23 degrees. So you have Saturn coming in to support Uranus, or them support each other here in the next weeks. Okay. Also happening on Sunday, we have Mercury trining in Pisces, trining Mars in Cancer. Mars also goes direct on Sunday the 23rd as well. It has been in retrograde since December, and it's probably kind of thrown a wet blanket over. Cancer represents the fourth house, home and family, again the mother as well. Mars does not like really being in Cancer. Like I said, it kind of throws a wet blanket, and then been in retrograde this entire time as well. So now it's coming out of retrograde, and then right after that, we have a trine coming in from from Mercury, and it just kind of gives Mars that extra little bit of energy that it needs to really get going. Okay. Let's see, Monday, we also have a whole lot of moon activity the entire day on Monday. It's just sextile Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, the North Node. Okay, and then trine Uranus, opposed Mars, and then we have Tuesday the 25th, the moon moves into Aquarius, where it conjuncts Pluto. Aquarius is the 11th house of friends, hopes, wishes. It's kind of your North Node, the thing that you want to bring to fruition, that you've always hoped to bring to fruition. Okay. And then we have, also on Tuesday, we have Mercury conjuncting Saturn. Move that real quick. At 20 degrees. Now, Pisces is all about no boundaries, as to where Mercury is all about boundaries. It rules Virgo and Gemini. It's in detriment when it's in Pisces. So it's almost equivalent to Mercury just being in retrograde when it's in Pisces. It can bring fogginess to your thoughts, lack of concentration, but it can also do the exact opposite with like your dreams, and it can build in a more solid image in your dreaming and your daydreaming. It could also help with the ideas, bring out ideas from the subconscious as well. Now with it conjuncting Saturn rules Capricorn, which again is the 10th house, career, reputation, and it is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So these two work really well together. Mercury and Saturn do. So even though things may have been foggy since Mercury moved into Pisces, when it does this conjunction with Saturn, it can bring more clarity. So the few days that Mercury is in conjunction with Saturn will probably be about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll bring a lot more clarity to your dreams and your daydreams, and and able to process your maybe like inner child wounds as well. Okay, anything that has happened this past year, that has wounded you, it could bring it to the forefront to where you can actually like categorize it and put it into your little boxes. Try to do some inner healing. Okay, this entire week is just about inner healing. It really is. Okay, and then we have the moon sextiling Venus, always a good aspect in Aries. And then we have it moon trine Jupiter in Gemini, great aspect. And then going into Wednesday, we have moon sextiling Chiron and squaring Uranus. Now Uranus is the natural ruler of Aquarius, so again you have a little bit of a mutual thing going on here. Whether it's a square or not, it can bring a lot of epiphanies. Again, Aquarius is your 11th house. It may bring up an epiphany to a friendship, to how to progress on one of your hopes that you want to bring to fruition. Okay. And then, of course, Taurus is the second house of values and how you see your self-worth. Okay. So going in to Thursday the 27th, the moon enters Pisces, where we have got a new moon in Pisces at 8 degrees. Again, now we have 5 planets and the North Node all in Pisces on Thursday. I cannot emphasize anymore how much you should take advantage of rest right now, if you can. Just going into your own inner world and recuperating and processing what has happened this past year. That's all what the 12th house is all about, is processing, closing out that cycle so we're ready to begin a new cycle when the sun enters Aries. Okay, which also we will start to begin eclipse season March 13th, 14th. Okay. We also have Mercury sextiling Uranus at 23 degrees. So let's move this little guy over here a little bit. Sextiles are great. And then Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, so these two planets work wonderfully together. Communications, ideas, epiphanies, they work wonderfully together. So maybe you'll be having some intense dreams about your value system. Again, this is a collective reading, okay, not a specific zodiac sign. So then with that new moon, we also have a bit of a square with Jupiter. The new moon is at 8 degrees, and Jupiter is at 12 degrees. So throughout the week, we're also going to see that square get more and more intense as the sun comes up to the square on Jupiter. But Jupiter and Venus are the benefactors in astrology. You can't go wrong with them. Jupiter also is the traditional ruling planet of Pisces before they discovered Neptune. It's all about expansion. And Gemini is about the community, communication, short distance travel, as to where Jupiter is all about expansion, higher learning, long distance travel, learning new languages, learning about new cultures. So you have this square going on between, you know, your subconscious and your expansion of it. Okay, whether it, you know, whether no matter who you are, you know, there's always going to be different scenarios for everyone, but you're going to be looking to expand something and to try to bring it to fruition once, you know, we start the new astrological cycle. Okay, but right now the most emphasis I can put on is just rest, recuperation, subconscious dreams. Okay. Friday the 28th, we have a whole lot of moon action again. The moon trines Mars in Cancer, and then we have a conjunction to Saturn, and then Mercury, and then Neptune, and also a sextile to Uranus. I mean, those are beautiful aspects. Again, you might be able to find more clarity when Saturn gets hit in Pisces. It can bring more clarity. Again, like with Mercury and Saturn in Pisces, it can build structure to your subconscious and bring clarity to what you're trying to bring into the 3D world. Okay? A lot of healing going on here, okay? A lot of going into your inner world and, you know, start that healing up, okay? When the moon comes in and conjuncts Neptune, it's also going to conjunct the North Node in Pisces. Neptune is, again, rules Pisces. It's all about dissolving those boundaries. It's called the Great Dissolver for a reason. Again, more dreams. And then, you know, you add in the moon conjuncting the North Node. Again, I've said this in other videos, but I know I might have new people coming in here, right? So the North Node is all about destiny. The reason why the lunar nodes are so important is that is where eclipses occur, okay? So right now it's at 28 degrees conjunct Neptune. Like right now and with the moon there, you know, hopefully everyone is putting thought into what they're going to do this next year, what they're going to heal from last year, how they want to bring it to fruition, okay? I know that I've said this 20 times, but this whole week is really about inner healing, okay? Then the moon enters Aries on Saturday. It makes a sextile to Pluto, makes a conjunction to Venus and Chiron, and a sextile to Jupiter. Again, more healing. So, you know, there's so much emphasis on this part of the sky that it's kind of hard to, like, it's huge focus. You know, the first house is the way that you project yourself into the world. The second house is your value system, how you value yourself, how you see your self-worth. Okay. Third house, Gemini, is short distance travel, communication, community, neighbors, siblings, anybody that you see on basically a regular basis. Okay. Aquarius, your 11th house is all about your, you know, friendships, dreams, hopes, wishes. Pisces, subconscious, dreams, daydreaming, inner healing. And of course, Cancer is the 4th house. It's all about your home and your family as well. Also happening on Saturday, the big one, Venus goes retrograde. Mars coming out of retrograde February 23rd meant that every single planet was going forward. And then all of a sudden, Venus decides to throw a wrench into the engine there and decides it wants to go to sleep. So Venus is, again, it's all about going into the underworld. If you know anything about the mythology of Persephone and Pluto and Demeter, I'll go through. I've already been through this, but I'll do it again, just a little bit here. When Venus goes retrograde, and it being in Aries is actually pretty fundamental to a person's. Aries is all about the self, and so the inner world. So now it's asking you, basically, when Venus goes retrograde, it's asking you to go into your inner world and heal and shed your skin. So it's going to take a journey to the underworld, and then it's going to start coming this way. Now, planets don't really retrograde physically, okay? It's our perspective of it. It's when we're passing it in, the Earth is passing it in the sky, and our perspective is that it's going backwards, okay? And then the sun comes up, and we have a conjunction with Venus and the sun on March 23rd, and that is when, a week prior to that, or 10 days prior to that, we won't be able to see Venus any longer, and that's when she goes into the underworld. Now, this is all about, if you want to have a healthy relationship with another person, you have to have a healthy relationship with yourself first. Okay, so Venus rules Taurus, which is all about your self-worth, how you see yourself. Okay, Libra it also there's two faces to Venus. Okay. Libra is also ruled by Venus, and it represents relationships. So if you fix your self-worth, if you value yourself, if you learn, if you heal, it's a lot easier to have a healthy relationship with another person who also has a healthy relationship with themselves. That is what Venus retrograde really is about, is going in, doing your inner work, and it's crazy how much emphasis there really is about just inner work, okay? Venus will be retrograde until April 12th, all right? Now I'll go into more detail as time goes on. Venus is also about, when this happens, a lot of times you do see like old flames come back into your life, whether to reconcile or whether to heal a wound and close a cycle out, right? If you can close a cycle out, if you can forgive each other, it doesn't necessarily you're going to get back together or anything, okay? And this is all relationships too. It doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate relationship, okay? But if you can close out that cycle and heal from it, you can then, move on with your life, So that's pretty much what Venus retrograde represents, okay? So you do see that quite a bit when Venus goes retrograde, is old relationships coming to the fore and either closing them out. And it is possible to have a new beginning, but, don't get your hopes up. If you haven't done the healing, it's not going to work. Okay, you have to do the healing first. Both of you, not just one of you, both of you. Okay? And then right after Venus goes retrograde, we have the moon coming in to conjunct Venus. And it just kind of gives it a little extra energy and a little more emphasis on, do that inner work. The moon represents emotions. So it really wants you to focus on while it's in Aries, it really wants you to focus on yourself and your self-healing, okay? And of course, needless to say, we also have Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries, okay? There's just healing, and healing, okay? Maybe that's what I will name this video. Healing, healing, and more healing. Okay? I know it doesn't sound exciting, but it's really, your life can be so much better if you take this opportunity to really just heal all of your inner wounds that you can possibly think of, you can get to. And of course, that's where Pisces comes in anyway. And of course, the retrograde with Venus is going to go back into Pisces for a bit as well. Okay? We then go, let's see, the moon comes in and then sextiles Jupiter at 12 degrees. I said before, Jupiter and Venus are the benefactors of astrology. They're, Venus comes in, it starts going retrograde at 10:49 degrees, okay? And Jupiter came back to 11 degrees before it started going forward again. It was like almost there. And to me, that's enough of a sextile to say it's a sextile. It's within 1.5 degrees. Works for me. I'll call it a sextile. So Jupiter brings good luck. It's saying good luck, Venus, on your journey to the underworld. Okay? So that's how I see it. Then on Sunday, we have Moon square Mars. Okay? Now that's a mutual reception because Aries the Mars rules Aries and the Moon rules Cancer. So you've got a mutual reception going on there. The way you project yourself into the world and your family, your home, and your mother. Then we also have Mercury conjunct Neptune. Again, this is another, that's at 28 degrees. And of course, it also has a conjunction with the lunar node as well. Again, a lot of resting. Mercury can bring a lot of focus into your dreams to where a lot of people don't remember their dreams. I'm one of those people, unless it's very intense. But with Mercury coming in to help out, it could bring structure into your dreams or your daydreams or just your subconscious thoughts to where you can kind of categorize them and work them out and, just help with your inner healing just that much more. Okay, just bringing it to the forefront. And then we have Moon conjunct Chiron to end the week. Again, just this whole week is just healing, healing, healing. Okay? Take your rest. Just rest. Do your inner work. Be free. Be okay with going into that underworld and just facing your fears, facing your demons. When Venus comes back out, it's on April 12th. It's going to be, if you've done the work, like the next year can really, really do you good. Okay? So I am going to leave it there. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment. And until then, I will hopefully see you next week. Okay? Bye, everybody.